As a researcher, you know the goal isn't just to get published, right? It's to actually make an impact. But, how do you even make sure your work gets seen and understood with all the information out there? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today, how to really build your research visibility.
And this quote, man, it just nails the central challenge, doesn't it? We are absolutely drowning in data, but what everyone's really searching for is understanding. Think about it. Groundbreaking research gets published every single day. But for any of it to matter, it has to cut through all that noise and actually reach the people who can use it.
And check this out. This slide reveals a pretty stunning gap. You've got a massive 8 out of 10 people saying they're interested in new scientific discoveries. That's awesome. But research shows that only about a quarter of the public can actually understand a basic scientific paper. That right there, that's the communication chasm we're here to talk about bridging.
Okay, so we all know the drill. Publish or perish. We feel that pressure constantly. But this whole culture has this, unintended side effect. It creates this absolute mountain of information, which makes it incredibly difficult for the really significant, game-changing work to get the attention it deserves.
So this brings us to a really core question. What do we even mean by research visibility? Well, it's not just one thing. It's all about being findable, being accessible, and getting acknowledged for your work. And not just by your peers, but by policymakers, the public, and industry too.
All right, so let's get into section 1. Think about it like you're building a house. You can't invite anyone in until you've poured a solid foundation, right? Well, in the digital world, that foundation is your professional online identity. The logic here is super simple. If people can't find you, they definitely can't find your research. Having a strong professional online presence is just not an optional extra anymore. It's the absolute non-negotiable first step if you want to make an impact. Okay, so where do you start? A great way to think about it is with these 4 platforms. They're like the 4 pillars of your digital foundation. Each one has a really distinct purpose, from making sure you always get credit for your work to helping you connect with collaborators all over the globe.
Let's break this down a bit. This table shows you exactly what each platform is for. So, ORCID, that's like your unique digital signature. It completely solves that problem of having a common name. Then you've got Google Scholar, which is basically your public-facing list of publications. And ResearchGate and LinkedIn, those are your key networking tools. One is really for inside academia, and the other is for looking beyond it. Which one you focus on really depends on your goal. Are you looking for peer feedback? Then ResearchGate is your go-to. Trying to connect with industry partners? Then LinkedIn becomes absolutely critical.
So, what's the key takeaway from all this? The first step really is to start with ORCID. Think of it as the central pin that links everything else together. Go claim your unique ID, connect your publications, and then you can strategically build out your other profiles. The key is not to try and do everything at once. Okay, so our foundation is laid. Now it's time for the blueprint. This next section is all about strategy. Seriously, who are you trying to reach, and what do they actually need to hear from you? Your communication has to be designed with a specific audience in mind.
And the 3 A's are a fantastic framework for this. First, your communication has to be accessible, so people outside your field can actually grasp it. Second, it needs to be accountable. That's how you build trust, through transparency. And finally, it has to be adaptable, so you can share your message effectively on all kinds of different platforms.
And this table really shows that adaptability in action. For example, your academic peers, they care about your methodology down to the last detail. But a policymaker, they want to know about the feasibility and the societal impact. And the public, they need a compelling story, something they can connect with. See, it's the exact same research, just viewed through a different lens for each audience.
And this also means you've got to use the right tool for the job. You need to match the social media platform to your communication goal. X, or Twitter, is perfect for quick updates and jumping into real-time discussions. LinkedIn is all about professional networking. And a visual platform like Instagram can be surprisingly powerful in fields like, say, dermatology or pathology.
So the big takeaway here is simple, but it's really powerful. It's not about changing your research. It's about translating it. You have one core message, and your job is to package it in multiple formats for all your different audiences.
All right, time for section 3, the construction process. We've got our foundation, we've got our blueprint, now it's time to actually build. A dissemination strategy is just that. It's your active plan for getting your research out there into the world.
And listen, this doesn't have to be complicated. We can break it down into 5 really manageable steps. First, plan who you're talking to. Then, create content just for them. Third, share it on your platforms. Fourth, you measure what happens. You know, the clicks, the comments, the shares. And finally, you refine your approach based on all that data. It's just a continuous cycle.
And this is where it gets really creative. Your peer-reviewed article is just the starting point. From that one document, you can create a plain language summary, a cool infographic, a blog post, or even a short video summary. Every single new piece of content you create opens up another door for someone to discover your work.
So, the takeaway for this section is crystal clear. Impact doesn't just happen by accident. It's the result of a deliberate, proactive strategy, not some passive fire-and-forget approach. It's that consistent effort that transforms a static PDF file into a real, dynamic influence in your field. Okay, so we've covered the why and the how. This final section is all about the what. We're going to give you a simple, actionable launch plan to get you started literally right away.
Here we go, your 30-day action plan. It's just 4 simple, high-impact tasks. Number 1, claim your ORCID ID. Number 2, create or update your Google Scholar profile. 3, write 1 plain language summary for your latest publication. And 4, share just 1 key finding on a platform like LinkedIn or X. See? That's a totally manageable start.
And that brings us to our final piece of advice, and it's a big one. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. The goal isn't to go viral overnight. It's all about taking small, consistent steps to share your work. I promise, over time, those small steps will compound into some really significant impact. So I'm going to leave you with this one question. You do all the hard work, right? The experiments, the analysis, the writing. Your research genuinely has the power to make a difference, maybe even change the world. But that power is only unlocked when it's actually seen, shared, and understood. So, who's going to know?